to the kings of the Baltics once again.
Hello guys.
So,
Well, we have another day of group stage. Today we'll have Group B coming in after we saw a few days prior Group play out, and we already have some results. Gameplay DNA ended up first place, and Kenti was second after all. So two good teams, I would say, that had the best performance at the group best. And today we're going to see more, more action, more of the teams that are going to pass along through the bracket stage, through the group stage.
I'm excited. We are here, like right now in the lobby, waiting for both teams to start the champ select. My name's Chris, mostly Team Würger, and I'm here with Loris Brovka. How are you?
Yeah. I'm totally fine. I'm really hyped up. Actually, the first match that we're gonna cast today is against two teams, Aston eSports versus Estonian Vipers. Actually hard to pronounce for some reason, as both names start with the kind of similar sounding. Actually, both teams have Estonians on their rosters. Though Estonian Vipers, I think all 5 of them are Estonians. So it'll be interesting to see how these two teams match, as I would say they're pretty similar level from what I saw. Maybe on paper Estonian Vipers would have a better chance from what showing we saw, in the previous matches when we were casting the first games of this tournament. Prior to the group stage or to the bracket stage overall. I mean, the groups were not formed yet at the time.
But regardless, today we have a small final coming up. I think we can all check out Estonian Pride, everyone, and we will find out who will be the better team. Who will be the better Estonian team today.
I mean, yeah, one team although has I think way more Estonians. If I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna check right now. Where is it? Yeah, Aston has 2 Estonians, 2 Russians, and 1 Latvian on their roster. So it's a multinational team, and interesting how they perform. Often I see that if it's a Russian team, or Russians on the team, they speak Russian. So maybe Estonians are able to speak Russian too. I'm not sure, or maybe it's in English overall. Well, depends, So it's about their communication. Is it on the par to the team that everyone speaks the same language, or is it not? That's sometimes the question.
I agree. So especially in these games, communication takes a big part, because if I don't think they have a quite big lead, right, in personal skill or compared to each other. So it's really important to have proper communication coming in.
Yeah, I mean, Estonian Vipers have a little bit more of the edge, but it's not that clear, I would say. So we can already see some bans. On the one side, we see that there's some focus on the bot lane with Tristana and Rakan band, as well as the Gragas. I'm not sure if it's too much of a, how to say, it's not. It doesn't seem like too much of a target ban. It's just overall meta bans. And on the other side, we're waiting for the third one, right? So
yeah, that should be a target ban, honestly, if they did their homework. LeBlanc ban.
Yeah,
right.
That is true.
So I see Caitlyn open. Caitlyn is quite strong again. Then there's a couple of options they could go for right now. So they could first pick, if they're really confident with one of the picks, like Fresh. Saw this multiple times, Kalista or Galio. Interesting, with both counters being up. Cassiopeia being on the line still, then there's Lucian available.
I mean, it's pretty risky though, but these teams usually know that.
Being open.
Yeah, it's a pretty strange choice, I would say. Maybe they're trying to take it off, and they're pretty. I would say maybe it's a flex pick for them. But one thing is strange though, that the mid laner of the Estonian Vipers actually, as I remember, is a Cassiopeia main, if I'm not mistaken. He played her a lot, so that's quite a risky choice, I would say. So it's probably a Galio top. It could be, you know, a flex pick overall.
Well, I'm not an advocate of Galio top, just basically because you would limit his area. So it's really one-dimensional if you would choose to place him on top lane. He's way better on mid lane. Way like at least the opposing team cannot go for free dives on the side lanes. So they are forced to play around mid. Like they also have to draft mid-centric on the highest level at least. So right now, I would say blue side they got away with a lot of engage. They have Galio, they have great frontline already, great long range engage with Jarvan coming in, and Caitlyn. And Caitlyn is
Yeah.
quite good.
I mean, we haven't seen Caitlyn yet, you know, in this newest patch. As you previously mentioned, she can headshot towers right now, which I found really interesting. Haven't seen that in action though, so we'll see how that one looks. But yeah, overall, pretty strange, you know, with the way they're drafting. But I mean, they probably have something in mind. People usually don't pick themselves into the counter match just that easily.
And now red side will ban out the supports, as it looks like, for blue side. Those bans should either be targeted towards either support or top lane. Alright, they choose to ban the ADCs away.
I mean,
That's fine. That's fine.
wait, support bans aren't that useful, right? If they're on the blue side where Thresh is being picked. I'm not sure if you said that one.
But you could. Oh, actually, you are right. I didn't see that.
It's fine. Don't worry, Chris. I mean, yeah. I mean, Thresh as a flex pick doesn't work too much, right?
No. Of course not.
So yeah, yeah. Their focus right now, I would say they're probably. So look, the red team is already banning Syndra, right? So they're pretty confident that Galio is going to end up in the top lane after all. So they know that the blue team, that Aston eSports are choosing to pick another mid laner instead of Galio. So that's already some of their focus going there.
Honestly, if they go Kalista here, they have a really strong comp. Like anything, even a Jhin for long range engages, because they have the Cassiopeia, they have a pretty good comp right now on red side.
And you guessed it. Kalista actually, yes, she works really well. The engage and zone control overall with Thresh, with the Kalista ult, with the Thresh ult after, with Sejuani ult. I mean, all of these ults are just high CC and just high value overall. So we're gonna be looking at one of these landing, either Cassiopeia ult or Sejuani ult, and those are just game breakers overall.
This is a good pick as well here.
Yeah,
at
I
least
mean,
for Caitlyn.
Caitlyn and Morgana, I would say it's an old duo. It's not that popular anymore, and it wasn't for quite some time. But back some years ago, it was a really popular one, especially when before the Kate nerfs. She was when she was more popular. Morgana is just often picked with her together, so no surprise. And now we see Shen, which he will be going top lane after all. So is it Kalia mid against Cassiopeia in the end?
So I at least I can see the comp, which is really good, is that they have Galio and they have Jarvan together, so they are able to jump in with Jarvan, Cataclysm, at least 3 people, then Galio jumps into them as well. But and of course they have Caitlyn as damage coming in and Shen on top of that, so they're really playing around their Caitlyn. But the issue is that I am seeing already against this draft, they are losing on mid lane, they are losing on top lane when it comes to the long run.
And especially they're low on damage, I would say. It's only Caitlyn that really puts up some sustained damage in, and apart from the Caitlyn, there is not much that their team can offer. Their team comp, I mean, overall can offer. The magic damage are coming from where? Morgana? Not really. Galio a little bit, but he's more of a mid lane tank. So if Caitlyn does not perform, if she does not get ahead, and if she is focused by the red team, by the Estonian Vipers, blue team, the Aston eSports team, gonna have a really hard time, I would say.
Also, let's really quick talk about this because it's really interesting. This Jarvan is quite limited in his abilities, like in his ganking paths, because like he needs to, or what he can do, his options early on are like he can set up a pretty nice gank around level 3, level 4 around mid, just to pop the cleanse on Cassiopeia. Usually in this matchup you should play cleanse here, or even get the flash on top of this. If Cassiopeia of course overextends too much, you will get a kill, but often this doesn't happen. And then afterwards, well, you're kind of forced to play around the bottom side of the map because you can't match the 2v2 on top lane. On the other hand, the Sejuani on the red side, she can either go towards bot lane because there's a Kalista, there's a Fresh. It's pretty nice ganking setup. She can play around the 2v2 on top because they are winning all day. And if she needs to match on mid lane, they would even win this in terms of damage
Yeah.
early on. So for her, she has all the options she wants. She can also just go for the invade because they will have pressure advantage around the top side. They will pretty much have pressure up until pre-6 in the Kled Shen matchup. They will also have pressure advantage on mid lane in the Galio Cassiopeia matchup.
Yeah.
But I think pre-6 it will look like most of the times as a Galio, you can just use your passive, use your Q, and farm waves. And well, sometimes it's like Galio will push out the waves and will get away with it in terms of HP. But if this Cassiopeia knows how she has to play in this
And I
matchup,
think he knows. He knows it.
yeah, he is a Cassiopeia one trick, right? He played it a lot, so well,
I cannot guarantee it right now, but as I remember, he was pretty good on her. And I mean, yeah, it's I would say a win for the red team. So yeah, we will see how this turns out.
drafting wise, I would say it goes 60-40 to the red side right now, just based
Yeah,
on that.
possibly even more, right? We'll see.
All right.
So I think we're off to jump to our sponsors, right?
Exactly.
And so guys, just stay tuned, and we'll see you in 1 minute. The game is about to start.
Connected. User left or sound muted.
hop straight into the game. So we will see. We have nothing new coming in terms of item stats. Actually, we can see that she has biscuits, but I think that's fine.
So actually, I would say these both teams have the bot lanes that are viable for the invade level 1, right? As we see, the one side has Thresh and another side has Morgana. So if they choose to go and invade the other side, they at least have some hard CC, some catch potential to catch the other team off guard. So. And actually, the invade is happening, but only a minor one to see where the Sejuani is starting, you know. But it's not even without the supports, no one could be killed or caught in that regard.
They just want to make sure where Sejuani will end up. Maybe you will see a little cheese coming in from bot lane here, as they are like standing in the tree brush and waiting for them to face check. So. Probably they want to shift the favor of pressure on bottom side into their hands by just getting a really favorable trade here. Or maybe not, because they're backing off.
They're just playing with your mind, Chris.
Exactly. But yeah, like usually Caitlyn, Morgana, they can just clear the waves easily, right? With both like spells, right? They have Q on Caitlyn coming in, W from Morgana. Should be easy for them to wave clear.
I mean, Morgana didn't start W, right? It was a like people used to start W, but no one is really starting W anymore. And look at the bot lane. Actually, there's the level 1 gank happening. The Jajaran coming in. He has red already. The slow is happening on Thresh. He's binded. He's knocked up. Is it over? It is. And actually, the Kalista is now in range. What is she doing? She's trying to get. Oh my God! She just lived with 5 HP, I think. It was really close, but that was super risky. She knew that the Caitlyn has heal still.
But it paid off. It paid off, and actually his normal response right now should be to invade and take the blue away. And yes, they are taking it. So right now, like, this was pretty good, pretty worth it.
Yeah, I mean, the blues are going to be exchanged in the end anyways, right? So this of a cheese gank I haven't seen too many times in my life, but it's one of those that had just happened, and it's just nice to see, I would say, some innovation, right?
So the thing is, Loris, if this really actually not only blows the flash, it's totally worth it, because you will get ahead in tempo, you will have a small experience advantage, and Sejuani can't really match that because of her kit early on. But yeah, so if he would have backed and not taken the blue, it would have been a smaller lead, so to say, against the Sejuani, because Sejuani just wants to get more camps, wants to get to 6 really soon.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, bot lane is now 2 level 1s. Thresh actually just hit 2.
Actually, we might see something on mid lane.
Yeah, both of the junglers are in the proximity. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be quite a hard time for the bot lane right now. Kalista is still level 1. She's soaking some XP, so maybe overall they will be fine, but one hit from the binding, and it happens, but the Caitlyn doesn't have the Q to follow up probably, as she does nothing.
Usually you can go for the max damage with the traps and just chain the CC. So yeah, right now we have, looking at the board, we have quite substantial CS lead on top lane here, which should be the usual case in this matchup, because Kled is winning in almost all scenarios that I saw.
Yeah. But last time we thought that the Shen would be losing. I mean, was it against Fiora, I think? And actually, bot lane finally happening. Sejuani is coming through.
Fail to flash.
Oh,
TP coming in.
Flash, and it's definitely a kill. And it's 2v2 right now. With the TP coming in, it's actually cancelled. So Kalista is on the one side, and Caitlyn is on the other side, being knocked out. So it's 2 for 1. Oh, this was just a turnaround from the level 1. They were mad about it. And now fighting the top lane with the Shen just losing a little bit of HP. But it's not gonna be anything more.
And Sejuani is approaching towards mid lane. Maybe you can see a gank coming in from here.
Yeah, look, the knock-up lines. He's fairly low. He's not gonna die, obviously, but it's just gonna chunk him out of the lane. So, fairly well done by the Sejuani. In the last 1 minute, she got the bot lane lead back, and on top of it, he got his mid laner a little bit even more ahead, although he's 10 CS in the lead at the moment. So
And they're winning quite heavily on the top side. And for now, he's like in a risky position, lane-wise. He's even diveable right now, so if Sejuani wants to go towards the top side and Kled chooses to stay, they could go for a dive. Oh, he needs to be careful.
actually, yeah, he got hit under towers, and he's 100 HP, doesn't need to flash. He's one auto attack off, he flashes prematurely, and Shen does it with the Q of the Kled at the last second, but it was just not enough. It's one of those auto attacks that follow right after, so very unfortunate for him. He probably could have made it a little bit faster and would have lived, but
Morgana getting hooked here.
yeah, look, she's half HP already. Is it gonna be the end of her? The Kalista is not being binded, and that's it. It's another kill for the bot lane of the Estonian Vipers. Super nice while the mid lane chunking happened. And top lane is also the same. I think it's the turnaround, right? From the first 1v1, the Shen now got on the losing end, right?
Yep. Well, Shen wanted to push this out because it's a pretty big wave and he doesn't want it to be freezed.
Is this a mistake by Jarvan? Is
Shen
this a
coming in?
bait overall? And the Shen coming in with taunt after, and the Kled is low, the Jarvan is low, can Sejuani catch him? The Cassiopeia just started to move, so it's 2v2 in just a second. Can Jarvan just get away?
Sejuani is ready.
He's healing! It's so smart by him. Now they're turning it around. He's not gonna die anymore, and they just need to run off to the top, and they're gonna escape it. That was just an outplay overall, I would say. 2-0.
And Estonian Vipers actually Aston Vipers, I'm sorry, actually doing a great job here, playing around the top side. And yeah, it's like last time where we were talking about that usually in this matchup the opposing champion should have a lead and should win. But that's actually not the case. Shen
is 3-0. It's just insane. I mean, these turnarounds just insane. I mean, both of the teams currently showing their performings, and you know, on one hand, Estonian Vipers are winning at the bot lane at the moment, and on the other hand, Aston eSports are winning on the top side. So I think it's fairly even. You know, safe to say that it's fairly even over the whole map, as the gold is just 800 of a difference.
Now, which is like a really crucial thing for Aston Vipers, they should definitely play around the bottom side and make sure to dive in the next 3 to 4 minutes. They also have really nice vision setup on bottom side, so they can make something the next time the Shen ultimate is available. Make something happen on bot lane. Make a play when the bot lane is hitting 6. I'm quite sure they can dive them with Galio coming in. On the other hand, Estonian Vipers, they should play around the top side, either like, or even around mid. They can easily push out top with Kled and then maybe go for a dive on mid lane, or like try to get something off with the Kled. They can also just go back and match the gank on bot with Kled first basing and then going towards bottom side with his bicycle.
I mean, Kled is an interesting champion overall. He's one of those Pantheon-like champions when you're playing top, so he's actually has quite similar impact to Shen. He just cannot instantly appear there, but after a recall, he's a very big threat to the bot lane overall. So they should be for sure looking at it. And Sejuani right now is also looking for gank at the bot lane, but she just passed the ward, so this is not happening, as Jarvan is looking for the counter gank.
The thing is, Shen ultimate is available in 20 seconds, and if they choose to look for something right now, it should be okay. But they should be careful with choosing to go for a fight on the bottom side, because they will always be outnumbered.
Yeah, that's totally true, and the Cassiopeia is already moving a little bit. But both of the teams have quite a decent vision, at least had, at the bottom side, as Cassiopeia cleared one ward. So both of the teams know, you know, the positions of the opponents, so nothing is really happening right now. The Sejuani overall wasted some time while Jarvan did one of these camps, so it's a little bit of advantage for them. And now Sejuani just ults from far off, and it's enough for the Morgana to flash away instead of using Black Shield, which is quite surprising, I would say.
Well, and they made a little bit of an advanced mistake, I would say, because usually in this position, lane position wise, they want to freeze. They want to freeze in front of the turret, build up a big wave, and build up a like a scenario for them to dive bot lane. There, where they pushed out too fast, went up the middle of the lane, and then got engaged by the Sejuani, and she didn't even wait. She just pulled the trigger on the ult.
Yeah, and she's just looking around the bot lane. She's already for more than a minute sitting in the bot lane, so that's a clear focus for them. They just gave up the top lane. They said, let the Shen be ahead. He's 3-0 already.
They're
You know,
going
the
for
things
J4
didn't
here.
work out, and J4 is already no. But two global ultimates from Shen and Galio is coming. Galio
Oh,
flashes,
the
Shen
taunt!
flashes, double taunts into knockup. Cassiopeia tries to flash away, but Sejuani is all over. I think 100
She gets
HP
away?
and she jumps over the wall. That's insane. Super close one.
Well,
So many resources used, and now Caitlyn is in the range of the hook. The flay comes after the ult. Can anything be done? I think Thresh has to be pulled out. As the teleports come in, the fight breaks out in the bot lane. It's just insane. I mean, the Kalista is super low, and she's being outed by Jarvan, which results in a kill. And it's 1-0 currently, as Shen is being taunted under the tower. But it's not gonna happen anything else than the one kill that just already happened.
and yeah, now we see they can't match that. And now this is going to be the first blood turret for Estonian Vipers.
Yeah,
Aston
that's...
Vipers, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's actually Aston eSports. Chris.
Aston eSports, I'm sorry.
Calling everyone Vipers, you know,
Yes,
you see,
yes.
you know, just because there are Estonians on both teams doesn't mean they're all Vipers, right? Who knows? I'm not...
I was just
Maybe...
flashed by the enormous CS lead that Cassiopeia has over Galio, but they can't manage to win a fight off from that.
That is true. I mean, Cassiopeia dealt quite significant amount of damage, but it was just hitting a brick wall at this moment. She doesn't have any items finished. She just, you know, just chunks a little bit of the tank's health, and that's it. She needs a more sustained team fights, right? She's not too... She can have a burst, but overall Cassiopeia is a sustained damage dealer, so she needs a little bit of a time.
And power spikes, of course. She needs her first item. Preferably the second item. With a small exchange here. Sejuani being engaged on. Lantern available.
Yep, she fell low. It's one of those occasions when you have a lantern for yourself, but you don't grab it, so you still support a little bit, but you know.
And Caitlyn is...
Oh, she's being though. Can Thresh land him? Okay.
walks up,
Okay.
ignites, explodes.
Okay. I mean, he could have at least used his play, right? He could have tried. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna miss anything, you know. This is just an easy way to do it. Uses his ignite, right? And that's a kill overall, so works out in the end.
You know, Loris, when I see something like this, I always think of this situation in the movie where the hero or the... Actually, we have a fight on bot lane coming in.
Oh, yeah, it's just exchange, right?
So, where the hero is walking up and the antagonist is placing a bomb or something, and it's just explosions somewhere, and he's just turning around, not even looking, and just...
Yeah, just the
walking
usual
away.
cool guys don't look at explosions, right?
Exactly.
Alright. A little bit of a reset happened overall.
Disconnected.
The blue buff is being given away to Cassiopeia, so nothing big is gonna happen. Both teams are actually dead even on gold, just a few hundreds right now that separates them. So I would say both of the teams are putting great performance. The biggest difference out...
Hook
Okay.
connects.
The Morgana, she's never playing in time, which is pretty surprising to me. As bot lane find happens at the same time, Shen is being dove, he's 100 HP, he has the passive up, but that's not gonna happen. He had the passive from W, but overall, wow, this lantern was clutch. Just fights overall, except for the mid lane where it's pretty stale at the moment. As I say it. Oh, Sejuani's uses ult just to escape. I mean, just fights all everywhere. It's 2v2 top, 2v2 bottom, and mid laners fight at the same time.
They might want to dive Caitlyn here.
Yeah, it's not a surprise. The Flay lands, she's 100 HP, and yeah, she's just being taken away. How
Back
much?
to the fountain.
Yeah,
Oh,
and the
actually.
Kalista is already pretty fat. She's 4-0. I mean 4-1.
So
Yeah.
I saw quite an issue here. Just because Estonian Vipers, they wanted to make cross plays. They wanted to make a play on top side. They wanted to make a play on bottom lane, which is usually not the best thing to do. But here they got away with it. Galio kept, he kept in staying in mid, not going for his ultimate on the side lane. so they don't get much out of this.
I mean, Cassiopeia was just pressuring him really hard, right? She was 2 levels up on him. He had no mana and no business, right? Just to leave his lane as he was pressured so hard.
And that's your job. That's what you should do as a Cassiopeia in this matchup. You want to like limit Galio's flexibility. He cannot go to a side lane if he has a big wave coming in, because he will lose massively in the CS. And we can see it already. He lost more than 5 waves compared to the Cassiopeia, which is just banking up at this point. He's so far ahead.
Yeah, 2 levels. 2 levels. I mean, he's not only losing CS, he's losing the XP somehow, so that is pretty strange.
And there's a really nice strategy for the red side as well, which they could do at some point in this game, if they are really smart. If Cassiopeia has 2 items, and they have the Kalista being both on top side, and they just have to, they don't even have to use the Kalista. They could go for a Baron power play, which would take them around 15 to 20 seconds, depending on Cassiopeia having blue buff. They could really burst the Nash.
Yeah, they are, you're totally right. This is one of the faster teams to do the Nasher. Cassiopeia is just the #1 mid lane together probably with the Zer at taking Baron. And now
Ivy coming in on top.
Lane. And Kalista just hops over the wall, she pulls out Trash, Gali is coming in with the bot lane fight at the meantime. Shen is winning slightly. Can he have enough to finish the Kled off? He has to turn around. It's 100 HP, flashes away and finishes it. In the meantime, the fight top lane happening. Gali is super low, he's falling down. The support died in the meantime. Heal is being used.
Johnny
ongoing. Oh my god, it's double kill for
and they're looking for Jarvan?
Cassiopeia. This is insane. How much it was 3-for-1 in total as they lost in the fight. They lost the fight in the bot lane, but they won heavily in the top lane. Now the top tower is going to fall together with most likely Herald, right?
Damn, and we're looking at a massive win for Estonian Vipers here at this point. That was crucial. They didn't have the Shen ultimate available, and overall, Estonian Vipers really playing beautiful around the cooldowns. I
mean, they were ahead in the mid lane and in the duo bot lane, right? So they decided that they can take and pull the trigger overall. As Galio is looking to engage on the Cassiopeia.
Just a small exchange, just checking out, saying, "Hey, I'm still in the game, Cassiopeia."
You cannot bully me to death. Alright, so heavy fights happening all over the map. I feel like this is as the first day of groups. You remember? It was not that long ago, just a few days ago, when we had games where fights just broke everywhere on the map at the same time. Now people are not looking to group up that much. They are just taking the fights in the mid lane, top lane and bot lane at the same time. So this game is no different. We saw multiple fights, heavy team fights in all of the fronts.
But right now we get into this crucial state around mid-game where, and now looking at the actual gold lead, we're speaking of a 4k gold lead, and both of these gold leads are on mid lane and on the carries. On mid lane and on the ADC. So, we talked about this during draft. Blue side has an issue with the damage, which is in this comp distributed around the bottom side, around Caitlyn. And now Caitlyn being super far behind, not having any power spikes available for the next 10 minutes, it's looking super grim. How do they want to match in fights?
Yeah,
Can they even take fights?
Look, all of their gold is pretty much at Shen's pocket, right? He has the 5 kills. I mean, he is not that far up in the CS. Even though he was 5 kills up, he's losing to Kled, right? It's like 34 CS at this moment. So, red team, Estonian Vipers, are just farming better overall, I would say, except for the jungler, which is even. So they're doing something really right. Probably they're just, the farm difference usually shows that one team is just better at some, at laning most likely, or has a better matchup, which we spoke also about. That blue team just picked themselves into some losing matchups, which are biting them at this time, I would say.
Definitely. Well, usually I would say that the blue side in this case should go for the side lane, and they should manage to play around the Shen. But in this comp, you don't really want to do that. You have a 4-man comp, and it's looking really good. Like, you have Jarvan engage, Galio. We have something on top side coming in here, maybe. A little catch on Fresh here.
Yeah, the buff is being contested at the moment. Nothing big happening, but fight against Shen versus Kled. 5 kills versus
no
1
chance.
kill. It's just Shen is just heavy on damaging him. He has to flash over the wall. Shen doesn't have his flash to follow up. So, you know, Shen is actually bullying Kled. That's something to look at.
I want to revoke what I just said. They should play on Shen on the side lane. So what that means is they should just manage the waves on mid up until Caitlyn has a first power spike at least, which she will get like Eva IE and then static shift. So if Shen is that massive ahead, speaking of 1 level
Chris,
and 5 kills.
Look, we have some funny stories actually. All of the games that we casted, we said Shen is a losing matchup. He's gonna fall behind. They're gonna play around the different side of the map. And what is happening? Each time, Shen is just 1v1ing people. Either it's Fiora, either it's Kled. He's just doing the work. And is it the champion? Is it the players that playing him? I'm not sure, but it's just happening, right? And this game is no different. It's gonna be interesting to see. You know, Kled is trying to escape him. He went top, but Shen is just mirroring him. As Cassiopeia and Galio is just exchanging at the bot lane.
Okay, Loris, you know what? Oh, actually,
Look,
he's going hammer bot lane.
I mean, the Galio is just falling, right? He just has to flash from the Cassiopeia ult and now runs up to the safety, which was really close. I mean, Sejuani could have tried to toss the ult out, but didn't want to miss. Wanted to have that clear shot, which might have costed them a little bit.
And he's 2 levels ahead here, so
yeah,
that's really risky.
He's
Okay, look,
coming
Loris.
yeah.
I will just make a mark in my book, just because you said that. Just a small little mark, okay? First time I will do this, and the last time, hopefully. That Shen sometimes has winning matchups. Just saying it like this, because honestly, he should not be able to win.
That is true. I mean, one thing I would say though, at least we were right about the mid lane matchup. We're coming to the flame horizon in the mid laners, where it is called when a person has 100 CS up on the other. And it's only minute 21, right? And being nearly 100 CS up, it's insane.
And they are going full for the team
Chris,
fight in terms of items.
Have you seen this much of farm actually? Look how much Cassiopeia has, 250 at 11 minutes. It's... wow. It shows why he's challenger, right? And why is he a Cassiopeia player overall. As Herald being used bot lane is 2v2 fight, Jaron is hesitating to come in. Can he land the knockup?
Wonderful!
No, Cassiopeia out lands on both. Shenald is coming in, Galio is jumping from up to down, but hits nothing. Kled is coming in with the teleport. It's 3v3. Fight is breaking out as the fight in the mid lane happening also between the solo, the dual lanes. That's insane.
And the bicycle comes out on Jarvan.
Oh, the Jarvan is in his...
Shen top misses.
That's just done. Shen is just coming right after. It's 3 kills, actually 4 kills for nothing as Caitlyn falls too. Bottom tower down, mid tower coming right after, and they just keep on going. The Herald is still up.
With the face into the turret, well, Estonian Vipers, they will take the game here at this point. It's not over yet, but it's really hard for Blue Side to come back after this. And in the beginning, actually, Galio going in here. They're going for Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia low.
She's gonna fall. Can they do anything after? Sejuani ult is landing. Thresh hook is landing. And now it's 3 for 1. I mean 4 against 1 as Sharon is coming in. Wow, it's just dynamic of the team fight just changes. But
and Kalista keeps going actually.
Oh, the trap was clutch just under the feet where she was landing. And now it's again 3v3 and red team Estonian Vipers has to run off. They have no mana, no business, no health. Can they do it? The Sejuani is being knocked up. She takes the lantern and now Kled is one lone survivor as the whole team just runs away.
Damn.
He was left to die, right?
Definitely. Well, it was curious to see that the Kalista kept going. It was a bit trigger happy, I guess, at this point. But yeah, massive win here coming in. Bot side is down. Shen. Now we are actually. They were.
Oh, the teleport is being used, Chris. It's the Baron attempt. It's the desperation Baron.
They putting everything off on the last straw here. Putting
Kled
all the eggs into this one basket.
Yeah. I mean, can Cassiopeia get in range in time? They're doing it pretty slow. They're way slower Baron team than the red team would be. Oh, he's falling fairly low. Shen is trying to buy some time, but he's
Hook,
getting so
lens.
low. Oh, the black shield is late, and the oh, this Cassiopeia is just wrecking the background. The 2 kills for her, double kill. Is it a triple kill? Triple kill. Can they give her a quadra? No, actually Trash steals it. But still, the Baron goes to the blue team, which is fairly interesting. As they were dying, they took it. As the desperation Baron attempt, they actually took it, but it's not a go. It's not going to be great for them, regardless.
And actually, Fresh steals the quadra away from the mid lane like a true support in that case.
Yeah, like in the World Championship, we saw Pentakill is being stolen by Jana W, which was an interesting thing. So
from Japan, to be exactly.
Yeah, a heartbreaking moment, you know, and pride for all of the sports that they matter too, right?
Of course.
And now top tower is being tanked. I mean, it's pretty risky. All of the blue side team of Aston eSports.
They actually want to engage here.
This is an engage, a 3-man play into Sejuani knockup. The
Galio comes in!
Never was used. The Galio with the super good down on 3 members. The whole team is falling down. 4 members
Kalista
are alive,
hitting.
but Kled is low. Kalista is in the background, but she is just doing heavy work, and only Cassiopeia died for the ace.
Damn. And that's game. Bicycles out, everyone's running.
The whole team is on the train together till the end, and that's the game. They did a risky engage. They all fell down, but in the end, it counted as a win, right? It was all worth it if you can take it in the end.
Of course, and actually so far, just want to mention that, okay? That we have a pretty good record in predicting outcomes of games, because Red side is winning again. Estonian Vipers, great game. They played around the winning sides, played around the win conditions. Really nice. Great to see that actually.
Still props to Aston eSports. I mean, they held up till, I would say it was around minute 12, if I'm not mistaken, that they were fairly even. And then, you know, the experience came in, the mid lane difference came in, and bot lane being super ahead just mattered in the end.
And actually, during the draft, in some teams, in some occasions, if they made their homework before, they could have known that maybe they want to play Cassiopeia. They want to rotate that early, because Cho'Gath was being banned, right? There were some bans coming in, which were like predominant when you want to run a comp around the Cassiopeia. But yeah, we saw a really nice overall flexible comp from Estonian Vipers, and Aston Vipers, their comp was a bit too one-sided, I would say. So
Chris, you don't lose the you still call Aston eSports
Aston
Vipers.
eSports. Actually both Vipers. For me, both teams, because they fought, you know, they fought with everything. They even tried to go for the Baron in the end, but it didn't work out, but still they didn't give up. So for me, it was the member mentality. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Come on. You know? But yeah, of course, Aston Vipers, Aston eSports, still, you know, yeah, like it was a great match to watch, to say the least. But yeah, with the whole Vipers, with the whole member mentality, let's hop into a quick break, some music for you guys, and we will be right back for the next game.
Yep, stay tuned, guys.
Creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.